Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're at the end of May and our finances are looking pretty good again this month. About 112,000 rubles worth of exports and only about 30,000 worth of imports. So that's a good old profit of around 80,000 rubles, which I think is a pretty reasonable place to be. In the last episode, we saw that from a loans perspective, we're able to actually consolidate our loans, which is something that we're going to do straight away. Excellent. Another quick export. Yeah, that's a good number. That's a really good number. Excellent. So on the 31st of May, our numbers are looking really good. So if we consolidate our loans with those kind of numbers, we should probably be in a very reasonable position to not pay as much interest as we're paying at the moment. And we just need to figure out if we can, in fact, consolidate these loans. Okay, so it's the end of the month. There's a heap of money coming in. Pause it for a second while we quickly have a look at that. So let's just quickly have a look. Last month, lots of bitumen exports, almost 50,000 rubles worth of exports, 30,000 in clothing, 23,000 in fuel. We can do more in food and alcohol, but I'm not sure it's necessarily worth it. But I might do it anyway, just to up us even further. Here we've imported a little bit of steel, a bit of steel, meat and chemicals and electronics. Really is the big ticket items for us here. Ultimately, I think if we can, chemicals, it'll be a while before we can do chemicals, right? What do we need from a chemicals perspective? Oh, that's plastics. Hang on. Chemicals. We can do chemicals. We have everything we need for chemical production. So it's something that we might be able to have a look at. Anyway, let's go back into what we're trying to do here. So we can borrow another 1.4 million rubles. Then we'll have about 2 million rubles. And then we should be able to clear out these two loans, which, to be honest, is just about there. We're nowhere near where but I think ultimately it'll make sense. So let's up our duration and up our value. It's interesting that we can't just say the maximum that we can get. There we go. So let's borrow that. There we go. And with that money in place, what we're going to do is let's clear out this one. In the first instance, 1122180. And we'll return that money. Okay, and then we've got 900 left. And then we'll say, in this instance, we'll say 733871. And we'll return that money. Now, the total has gone down significantly in terms of what we were paying. So that is really... And now we can borrow a hell of a lot more if we wanted to. So anyway, that's good. So that's getting us in a reasonable position. Now our interest repayments will be way, way, way less than they used to be. We'll have a look at our research in just a minute. So if I go back into our loan situation. Yeah, so that's about a 30,000 ruble difference in terms of what we're paying back for the current loan. So that's awesome. So if we give that a little bit of time to run, we should be all good. Okay, this guy's finished off. Where were we busy? I can't remember what exactly it was that we were busy working on. Let's have a look what the message is saying. So basically the metals, aluminum recycling that we've done. Okay, so any other recycling items? Yeah, plastic recycling. So let's get a mosey on that one. And over here, anything here, we are hoping to have power grid connections to Western countries. So we're pretty cool on that. So let's close out all of these messages to see where we're at. Okay, what are we doing in terms of our population? They're slowly growing. Everybody should have access to stuff they need. Yeah, seems reasonable. schools and the likes. Yeah, all seems pretty reasonable. What's happening over here? So that thing stopped production, which is this one. It's got no workers. So yeah, that is about right. This is still pretty good in terms of burnable stuff, really. And it is still growing a little bit of hazardous waste in there. We're almost empty on this one, and these are dissipating, I think, as much as they can. But we will need to run these through the other side as well. I think ash here is getting a little bit better because that's where we're kind of dumping what we've got. So just need to make sure that once we clear this one out, we'll start dumping all of our other ash in this location and have it clear out from that from there. What do we have here in terms of construction waste? A fair bit already. Aluminum scrap is starting to get there, and then metal scrap is pretty limited. Plastic waste is also a pretty minor. You're loading up, yeah. So unfortunately, this thing is loading up pretty quickly. And we will end up having too much of it in here. I don't know, maybe it's fine. Maybe it will be okay. But anyway, for the time being, it's doing a reasonable job. Our exports are looking good. I would love to see that continue. Oh, look at that. That's really good. Oh, even this. Can do with even more. And this is filling up nicely as well. So I think we will be able to do our power from here pretty easily. So we did research the 18 megawatt line, right? Yeah, we did. We did do that. So that should be good. Can we, hang on, can we can actually put a helicopter facility in play here. Should we believe that's a reasonable thing to do? We would have fire stations on this side as well. But I don't think, oh, actually, I do think we can, sorry. Stop with the zoom. Sorry with the zoom. Oh, come on. We should be able to put a helicopter in place over here also. Okay, that's interesting. That's good. How's this going? Are we moving reasonable amounts? Yeah, we don't seem to get as many people here as we used to. Yeah, alcohol and food is full. Okay, what I think I'm going to do, that's just distribution. What I think I'm going to do, let's have a quick look at our list of vehicles to just have a look at our wear. With something on a 50. Yeah, I think we're pretty reasonable with these things. Buildings, wear and tear, 23% as a food factory. That's interesting. We had the all of map. That is really interesting. I thought we had an issue with our big clinic. Did they go ahead and rebuild it? Let me just have a look. Or did they fix it? Wear and tear 29%. Yeah, so it's still feature on that list. So I don't quite know why that was the case. This is going along really nicely. What's our fertility looking like? Wow, we've got very good fertility. Some of these have got really good fertility. That's good. I like it. I like it. Okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing? We can start getting gravel from this. Not that that's really a big deal for us. We'll just keep running the separation for the time being. We don't need any additional gravel. And we can then, of course, slowly start getting a little bit more steel from this. Because that would be good. And we can just dump it over here. Yeah, that would actually work. Now, what I thought we could do is we could export even more stuff. Look at that. Our money is absolutely brilliant. So what I'm going to do just for the moment, I'm going to do even another free distribution office. I think I still have one more left. Yeah. We have one more left. I'm going to park it where? I'm just going to do that, place it there, get another little direct connection. So none of this will be, we won't keep any of this, to be honest. So I'm going to do that. And we're just going to go ahead and add more vehicles to it. Now, this time around, I might not buy the dollar ones because I don't have any dollar income. So if I wanted to do oil tankers, what is the total capacity biggest one I can do? Is the 11 tons at 70 kilometers an hour, while these guys run at what? Wow, way quicker. Yeah, so it is an interesting one. The US ones will certainly be way better. So let's just go back. We want to get an oil tanker here with a total capacity there. So that's 11 tons for 70 kilometers. That's 80. Yeah, that's not great. So I'm just going to go with these cisterns here. So grab me 1, 2 of them. Can we change its color? Well, no, we cannot. And I believe there's another one located over here that we can reapply. So let's just move that one over to this location. And with them there, we will now say, please grab some stuff over there up to about 10%. Please, we would like to leave 10% there at any given moment. And then you would like to export that. Now we can of course also export towards the, and I think that's going to be just fine. So I think that should run those trucks straight away and give us some additional exports. Good. Well, that's underway then. This guy, we probably need another one in here too, because we are running a little bit low there. Give me another oil tanker in this location for distribution. Let's make sure everybody's getting what they want and need. It's more bitumen heading out. That's okay. There we go. Keep running. Yeah, that's fine. I've got no problems with this. This thing's filling up quicker than we are actually moving things through. Now, let me see. Do I have another one of those vehicles? So I've got 2 of them ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to demolish this one. I no longer need it. The only thing it did is bring in bitumen. So let's demolish that one so we can reuse it. At the same time, I'm going to clear that out. So that's fine. Now, I thought what I'll do is I'll add another one in on this side so that we can move at least some more alcohol from there. I think that's a good move. The alcohol is pretty expensive. So let's get 3 more trucks over here to come and sort that out. Ooh, why actually? That's interesting. So we can't actually squeeze it in here. That's good. That's not too bad. So if we were to place it where? We could, of course, place it on this side, right? And then we'll have it. Yeah, maybe this is about the best we can do for it here. Let's do that one. We'll give it a little bit of a road connection in there. We will say you are going to go and load up over there, and then you're going to export that, and we'll just move more of the alcohol. I think that's good. We don't need as much alcohol, and if we run out, it's not a big deal either. So let's just grab both of these guys. We'll rehome them to this location here. Okay, so the moment they arrive, we should see that. Do we need all 3? Yeah, I'd rather have 1 extra one there. And so what I'll do is I'll buy... Do we need all of these? Maybe we don't. I might just buy an extra one here. Let's just buy 1 more of these covered holes. In terms of total capacity, please. Yeah, let's just do that. And as they arrive, I would like you to please go and grab... And actually, I should go up to 10% there. So please go and grab alcohol. Well, no, you're going to... That's fine. 1 shipment of food out to the border is not going to be the end of the world. Those trucks are pretty slow, so I wouldn't mind actually changing over to dollars at some point. We've got a fire. Let's keep a quick eye on it. This should be fine. We have vehicles on their way here, I'm sure. Yeah, here they come. How many people work here? Reasonable amounts. Yeah, that's cleaning it out pretty quickly. Okay, good stuff. That's done. Let's clear that out there. And if I have a quick look at last month's expenses, there we go. So see, that's the change in loan balance, and this is the interest. So what are we saying? Is that the monthly interest amount due 30 days? So I think that's the monthly interest. Right, anyway, we should sort that out pretty quickly. We'd be able to work our way through that, I think, reasonably well. And if we go back to this, so now we're making 100,000 rubles in the last month, which was absolutely amazing, and we'll do even more this time around. Wow, what are those exports looking like? It was a good clothing month. That's the case. There's a good clothing month, and now we should start seeing way more alcohol. Good. Okay, that's good. Now, what's the next piece of stuff here? I think pipeline pressure is something that I'd be interested in, so let's get a move on with that. Come on. Up those numbers there, and over here we would have finished our whatever study we did. Let's get international air traffic rules. What does that say? Negotiation with world authorities about that our airplanes will be allowed to fly worldwide. This research is needed to send planes to Eastern and Western countries. Well, we'll do it nonetheless, even though it's probably not something we're going to use straight away. Now, the distance that we have to cover to get Western tourists here is quite significant. So what I think I might do, if I wanted to go about doing that, we will need to at least provide maybe at least one fuel station somewhere over here, if we wanted to do that. And then what we could look at is potentially building ourselves a bit of a hotel here for people to visit and go to and the like. So let's have a look. If we go into the tourism industry, into hotels, I would like a city hotel. That seems to be a reasonable one. This is a bit smaller. Yeah, I'm almost tempted to not, if I do hotels here, right? I do know we've got a little bit of problems with our power. So let's get ourselves some hotels here. So I'm thinking one there, and if we swap it around, yeah, something like that will actually give us a bit of room, and it should have water and all those things. Excellent. And they're pretty close to some of the stuff that they will need, and we can obviously build a little bit more. Now, what we'll also need in this location is a bit of a bus stop, specifically to cater for the guys, for the tourists. So let's do that. That's a bit of a hotel area here. And then what we'll do is we will start by building a road there and there. Excellent. And then we'll do that. I like that. And we will do the same thing like so. So let's get all of those roads underway, and we can get the crews to start working on the roads. That's good. So that's a little bit of a hotel cluster there, and we will, over time, get that built. I'm not going to rush it, but at least that should, I want to potentially activate that to allow for improved dollar income. Dollar income is what I'm after. So all of this, is anybody dropping any power here? These things are potentially over capacity, but I don't really see the flickering of the power here. So let's just have a look to see if we are seeing any of those flickers constantly happening. I don't think it's the case, to be honest. None of this stuff is actually carrying more power than they should. So I think we're in a reasonable position to do that here. And we can always Yeah, this thing is tapped out. So that's the issue, really. Okay, good stuff. Our money is absolutely brilliant. We were making enormous amounts of money now. So I think we're pretty comfortable with where we're at with our finances. And we're pretty comfortable with where we're at with this stuff, even though I think these are filling up pretty quickly. Fair bit of construction waste there. Aluminum scrap. Let's do that. Oh, it doesn't actually... Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. Just that. Right. There we go. That's what I want to see. Yes, that's very good UI right there. So I can have a very good view of the waste that we've got. Oh, don't do that. 14 tons there. Oh, okay. So it doesn't really do a good job with it. This is practically full again. Wow, look at that. Okay, I think what I can do is I can go ahead and switch this on again. See how that goes. In terms of pollution, yeah, it's pretty polluted in this area. How's this going? Yeah, we're moving a lot of the alcohol now, and so presumably we're really upping our exports from an alcohol perspective. There we go. Now we're starting to burn some stuff here. Now, while we're burning, can we see even higher pollution numbers here? Not really. So it is generating power. So ultimately, once we get the new power setup up and running, I want to potentially run a dual line here. So a secondary line that can do our exports. So what we will need to have a look at is if we can just build another foreign power connection here. So what does it cost? If I would say that, it's only 26,000, so that's okay. So what I'd be keen on is doing another foreign power connection here, and then doing one for imports and one for exports. That's really the intent. What is actually happening here? Do we have multiple vehicles? No, so that is actually working quite well now with our vehicles running in, and our money is just, it's flying. It's absolutely flying. A research program has finished, which is the pipeline pressure, which I think is what we need for a direct pipeline to the border. Okay, so what is next? That's fertilizers. This is renewable energy sources, and this is plastics. Plastics would be pretty interesting to get. So let's make a start on plastics. We'll get to the rest of it. Okay, now, what I'm keen on understanding is as we're burning through this stuff, right? How much waste are we actually generating? It's mainly ash, and this seems to be pretty reasonable. Yeah, I don't think we're actually, even though we're burning through all of this, and we're creating mixed waste, I don't think that mixed waste actually remains, because it's only ash, because this is cleaned mixed waste. I think it's a pretty good spot for us to be in. This barely fills up. I mean, it fills, but I think maybe it dissipates so quickly that it's not a problem. This looks really good. Who's this guy? So he's coming to the incinerator to load, and then he takes it out over here. And this, unfortunately, is still mixed. So once this thing is empty, oh, this is empty. Okay, hang on, that's empty. Beautiful. Okay, let's grab this guy. So there's a line in effect here. So what you want to do is no longer come and pick up at this one. We would like you to instead pick up over there. Please load mixed waste for us. And then what we'll do is we'll remove you. And we'll say, yeah, and that's going to be just fine. So that's okay. And now this guy, is this just a single vehicle, or do we have a line active here? Just a single vehicle running it over there. So instead of dumping it over there, I would like you to come and dump it over here where it should just be ash, right? So please come and dump it in that location. Dump your mixed waste there. Okay, and then we'll clear that one out, and we would like you to go there. This is ash only. So this is the key thing. Now I want to have a quick look at how quickly that goes and dissipates. We've got 6.5 tons here, and it is ash only. And hopefully that means it is going to move through it fairly quickly. But it's ash only, so that should dissipate without any problems. This thing's going to be empty any minute now, so it's not a big deal for us to just run it through there. But yeah, that's pretty good. Look at those numbers. We'll have a look at the end of July. We'll have a look at it again. What is this guy doing? Hang on. You shouldn't be loading there. No, that's not what you should be doing. You shouldn't be doing there. You should be... you should not be loading there. So I probably didn't save it. So if we go here, you should be loading on that side. And I'll clean that one out. And now what you're saying is you're loading this here. Right? And then you're doing the rest. So you're no longer going to be part of that maneuver. And this vehicle itself, I would like you to please move there. Okay, good. Go and grab your stuff over there. This should, I think this should dissipate quickly, is my understanding. Okay, so that's done. All out. So let's stop running that until we get more stuff to burn. Look at this. Look at this. Excellent. 30th of July. Wow, I'm loving those numbers. Honestly, I'm loving those numbers. We've got an electricity problem. Yeah, I kind of anticipated that. Just a minute, though. Should be all good now. 31st of July. Look at these numbers. This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So this is just ash. There's nothing else we can do but wait for this to clear away. I want to see how much that ash is worth once it fills it up. So if we wanted to kind of dump it across the border. Oh, look at that. Just running it around is going to cost us a lot of money. Anyway, this should dissipate fairly quickly. So we're at 25 tons now, about halfway through the episode. So at the end, we'll see what that looks like, even though we might open that up again. So yeah, now these guys are loading really slowly because these facilities are the worst. Okay, so I'm going to stop using these facilities. I don't mind these ones loading very slowly, because we'll get rid of them over time. This was a bit of a stopgap, to be honest. So now we've got these hundreds of tons, which I was hoping we can load up a little bit quicker than this. But anyway, that's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be the end of the world for us. Yeah, well, we keep dropping stuff off here. So we'll have to see how it goes if we don't switch this thing on again. Yeah, we do drop a little bit of hazardous waste there too. Okay, that's good. That's good. This is coming along quite nicely. There's a fair bit of construction waste there. Metal scrap is going up, and aluminum scrap is going up. This is fairly cleared. That'll take a little bit more. So let's just drop that like 2 people. See how that goes. Okay, excellent. Now, we're into August. Let's have a quick look at what our last month's stuff was. That's the wrong button. So Soviet bloc. So look at that, 63,000 in terms of bitumen. Clothing was a reasonable number. Another 40,000 there, 40,000 on fuel, and our alcohol has gone up a fair bit as well. Now the question is, are we maintaining reasonable alcohol supplies here or not really? Yeah, reasonable. And look, we're not going to get rich from it. So what we're really after is seeing if this is holding. This is holding, and that is brilliant. That's holding too. So yeah, we're doing a really good job at some of these things. Do like my little pipe network here. Now, in one of the last updates, they were talking about like fences and stuff. So if I quickly go here, So yeah, these things apparently are now supposed to be automated, but anyway, we're not going to see anything major on that. I would like to do some good work with that here. Now look at those numbers. We can almost start working towards actually repaying some of our stuff here. So if I were to say, go there and say, well, let's pay 200,000. 200,000. So let's return 200,000. And we go back there, and that's dropped it even further. So yeah, so hopefully we'll pay off our loans fairly quickly on this stuff. Oh, look at these guys go. I am loving it. I am absolutely loving it. Now, can we go about building some nice paths here? If we were to do that, and we were going to do this, yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable tie-in over here. And then we'll do that, and we'll do a very similar tie-in over there. That's pretty good, and we'll tie that one in there and that one in there. And now the idea is really that we will be running this down this way so that the guys can get where they want to go. With all of that in mind, can we quickly build all of that? So now at least we've got these things connected. So now happy for these guys to start working on it. Going to take a little bit of steel. It's not that much steel actually, so I'm quite happy that we're going to be able to afford that without any real craziness. And similarly, I don't think we can get a tie-in over there. Now, let's just go up there. And what we'll do is we'll tie that one in there, and we'll tie that one in there, and we'll get that connected. So at least now people can kind of walk it around this way. We could try and do a very similar thing down this stretch here. That's good. Okay, I like that. We'll see about getting some other connections up and running as time goes on. One thing that I thought I would do is let's quickly go ahead and just pay for that upgrade, just so that we get that sorted out. That's part of why I don't want to play with but these guys are doing their job pretty effectively. Please don't allow anybody to use this apart from, say, tourists. Research programs are finishing, so let's have a look there. That one's not done yet. This one, okay, good. Synthetic fertilizers, certainly. Let's go with pollution filters. See how that works out for us. See if we can get less impacts from our pollution. And I wouldn't mind actually inviting a few more people, because I think that would help us a lot. Yeah, build these guys. That would be awesome if we do that. Other thing that I was wondering, if we were to, let's just do a little something here. I'm kind of doing a lot more. We do it fairly straight there. New tie-in? Come on, you have to be able to tie in. Yeah, let's just do that. Get that little section going. Going to be a pretty good piece there. Everybody can get to where they want to go. And to be honest, I will duplicate what I've done there by adding a little section here. that's fine. That'll give everybody a place to go. So let's just do that. So at least we have that direct connection on the other side to do its thing. These should be kind of okay. Okay, excellent. Look at that. Our money is running up yet again. Spent a bit of foreign manpower, but really our money is moving along quite nicely. We're building these items. That's really good. So get these hotels built, and then we'll start generating. Try and see if we can generate some revenue. Okay. See if we can generate some dollar revenue is kind of what I'm after. Okay, so that one's going to be done now, and we can move on to the next piece. No idea. I haven't really investigated this in too much detail to see what is the next stuff, what this kind of stuff unlocks, if anything. Okay, and done. Okay, what is this? Foreign pipeline connections. Oh yeah. Well, definitely let's make do with that. I will then also have to have a bit of a look at how we can generate a little bit better tourist attraction. Yeah, so here we're going to start seeing a little bit of a drop now as our big steel numbers come in. But man, I'm happy to see our imports the way they're looking. Our exports. Geez, that's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So let's move it along. This thing should be working. And this guy should be dissipating. Well, we're still just emptying it out. It is emptied out at the moment. And hopefully this thing is going to dissipate over time. This is dropping slowly, which is okay. I don't mind that too much. This guy's loading up on prefab panels. Lots and lots of prefab panels. Yep, that's good. I don't mind that. We should have boards available and all kinds of things. Production is stopped where, yes, of course, where that's going on. I don't mind building some additional roads though. So one of the things that's definitely in play here is this road here. So on this side, I wouldn't mind just upgrading this road, and we'll do it all in one fell swoop here. So it should be just the one upgrade there, and then hopefully the guys can come and upgrade that. Lots of gravel that's going to be used here, and then a fair bit of asphalt as well. So let the guys come and do that. Has it been assigned? It has been assigned, so that's good. Okay, now we've got our... So one of the things that we do need to just make sure we bear in mind is let's just do our spacing for our second piece of the highway network. So let's just make sure we do that, so that as we run the rail, it's not going to interfere with that too much. Okay, there's a bit of an issue here, I'm sure. Going to be an issue on this side too. Okay, so we'll need to keep an eye on that. Okay. Do a little bit of this. I'm just trying to do a little bit of planning while we have some time. And this guy might not actually run all the way to the border, but just in case it does, let's leave that there. Now, if we are starting to plan our rail connection, and we'll just start it off with the kind of wood connection here, I'm going to run it straight out this way. Okay, it can't go completely straight, but we should have at least a reasonable straight line there. So that's about 700 meters straight shot there. And then we'll slowly make a nice big angle out this way. Yeah, that's really good. Do that. I'm not going to build it yet, but so that's good. I just want to make sure we keep doing it. Okay, let's let's plan it out on this side. So if we say that line is going to remain in place here, let's get a little section around there. Yeah, that's pretty good. And it'll run down that way as well. If we do that, we'll cut across there. And that guy will need to move out of the way, which I'm quite happy to do. I have that section working there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start this construction, even though it doesn't have access to start construction at all. I'm just going to start it there so that we kind of have it in place. So this one needs to go, that needs to tie in on that side. So that's kind of our rail connection. I could move this one down away a little bit. Away from the highway network isn't going to be a bad thing for us at all. It's not going to be a bad thing for us. I'm almost in a position to start doing some more paybacks. That's really good. How's this going? Moving along pretty nicely. We're not making as much money now. Well, it's not due to imports, though. Need to keep an eye on all of our stats. Is this dropping? Still have 0. Okay, so instead of doing that, this is fully loaded, right? We've got all of these filled up with people. And these are filling up pretty quickly too, so I may have to, yeah, all of them are. So give me a couple more workers here, please. I'm going to try and import a few more workers so we can just get our population growth up a little quicker. At the same time, that means we're going to have to start our construction of some of these facilities. So let's make a start on that, get that one to start moving. And probably this one as well. Let's just do 2 of them at a time. That's okay. We did spend a fair bit of money, 70,000, bringing in more people into the Republic, but that was a worthwhile effort because that helps us grow even quicker than we're growing at the moment. And we should be, doing road construction over here. Excellent. So there should be a fair bit of gravel making its way over this direction. That will, I think, significantly shorten the trip for the Western tourists. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's absolutely right. We can keep doing that. What's going on with our studies over here? Can we up that even more? Should be fine. Oh, look at this. There's lots of workers available. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Now, let's go back to the list and just see how our vehicles is doing from a wear and tear perspective. No, we are definitely keeping them nice and maintained, which I'm loving. And if we go from a buildings perspective, the big clinic is back in action here at 30% wear and tear. Ooh, we've got a 44% wear and tear. 44% wear and tear. So where is that? 44% wear and tear. Just show me which one it is. It's this one here. So it'll need a bit of action fairly soon. Going to help it out a little bit. Excellent. I'm loving it. Things are moving really nicely. We're making good money now. And we should get ourselves into a good spot to start really doing this stuff a little bit more kind of naturally. And I'm loving how busy our highway is here with all of these vehicles doing their thing. Loving that. And we're starting to have a look at what our rail network could look like. We're not anywhere. This is our closest area. So the only other thing we could do is run that power line straight through here instead. So instead of running it up over that way, we can just run it straight through there as a shorter route. But I'm not sure that necessarily makes sense for us. we can, now that well, once we clear out our debt, I think we're in a position to start working on the next piece of the puzzle for us, which will be expanding into coal and iron and steel eventually from there. So that might be a new town somewhere. And with somewhere, I mean probably over there. Yeah, over this part, which would be good because that's much closer to the western border. And so we can start doing some stuff over here from that side as well and start upping our dollar numbers. That would be a good next endeavor for us. Once we sort out our debt. Our debt, that's the word. It's looking pretty reasonable now, and we are really comfortable with what we're doing now. So happy with that. And as long as we keep our population growing, 4,100 at the moment, and we just need to make sure they stay quite happy. Couldn't get clothing. There are clothes here. Are there not clothes here? There are clothes there. So I don't know where that glitch was. Do we have clothes available in this location? Yeah, all of this is kind of filled up and good. So we're not too worried about that. Here comes some big prefabs. Yeah, unloaded there. Construction is underway. That's good. I think that's working. Over here, these things should be pretty busy at the moment. We're practically out of gravel due to what's going on with that. If we were to build the next piece of the waste reclamation part, so if I were to say this is the number, 25,000 only, and it can store a lot of gravel. If I were to say, can it? Oh, yeah, it really can't squeeze in there, can it? If we flipped it around, we could do something like this, but it won't actually have an offset area anyway. We'll have to have a bit of a look at how we deal with that. Truck it over there. How much do we get from it? So 60 tons of gravel from 90 tons of construction waste. So we can get about 60 tons of gravel now from the stuff in there. I don't think it's worth our effort just yet. We just need these guys to continue. And maybe the real thing we should be doing is expanding our operation here a little bit. So get me another gravel quarry. Let's see what kind of good numbers we can identify here. What was our 90% there and 66% on this one? That 90% is pretty good. Let's see if we can find something that's at least over 50. If we were to do that, I'm not too opposed to this. Squeeze something in there, but it's not going to be a reasonable. Oh, actually, we can get a 60 here. Okay, let's add that one in place. Oh, I didn't actually want to do that, so let's quickly switch that. Well, I do want to do that. Let's switch that one off for the time being, and what we'll do is we'll add an extra little access route over there. Open that up, get that built. So there we go. We would like to. None of these are powered, right? Yeah, so they're not actually powered. So let's just get ourselves one of these to work it. You can go and get its stuff. And then what we'll do is we'll get ourselves a couple of dumpers here. We'll see about that research in a minute. Let's go and get a couple of dumpers. Two of them. Yeah, that's fine. And now what we'll say is you go here. You're not going to wait until you load it. You're going to come, you're going to load up on quarried stone. You're going to come here and drop off your quarried stone. And you're going to wait until you're unloaded. And we're going to say rename that as quarry 3. Quarried stone 3, I think, is what we've been calling these guys. So let's do that and make a start, please. We'll get the other one on there too. Set it to align quarried stone 3 and make a start. There we go. So at least we'll up our stone numbers. So this thing should hopefully move along a fair bit quicker and making sure that everything has got gravel. Wow, we are out of gravel over here because we're running through, prefab panels pretty quickly. So let us up our number of workers here just a tad. See if that helps us out a little bit. You only want 3 tons? Was that all you could get? I do wonder if that's all you want. What's happening with these? They are under construction. Not quite filled up yet, so there's still a little bit of free flats available. These guys are doing a reasonable job at keeping everything nice and maintained. This is still looking at like a 31 wear and tear. This one over here is a 44 wear and tear. That's okay. And look at that number. That number is looking very good again. Even with our imports of vehicles and the likes, we're back up to about 300,000 rubles here. Let's look at our numbers. This thing is full. This one is, we're probably now at a point where if we could, we should look at upping our numbers here a little bit. So let's see if we can't get that to work a little bit more. But yeah, extra people is what we're after. Small child due to no workplace. Yeah, really. Prisoners is not working. We've got a few of them. This is filling up a little bit more than I would like to see. This should have workers there all the time, even though there's nothing much to do. And all of our new tree planting is growing. Right? Yeah, some small trees all the way over here, right? No, not really. Am I missing out? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Should be planting trees wherever they chop them down, though. So hopefully it's not the end of the world, that. Yeah, our numbers are looking healthy. I would love to see us cross that a little bit further. And how's this going? Yeah, so we're out of alcohol. Our alcohol is beyond what we can do. If we have a look at what in the last month, what we sold in terms of alcohol, yeah, a fair bit actually. Global market for iron ore, yeah. Yep. We should keep an eye. Yeah, hazardous waste is up to a pretty tough number. That is dropping again. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. This is almost done, and then we can start emptying out that one, and then we can clear out these ones. And if we do need to build another, we can. Well, actually, just dumping ash into those is going to be just fine. But we'll clear this one out. Maybe we'll leave that one behind. Okay, I think we should probably switch this one back on again. So let's get 5 workers in there to start running that for us a little bit. That one's taking some steel somewhere. Should have some significant steel imports coming in now. All right, we've got some vehicles probably away to go and get steel. Okay, I think I'm quite happy that I'm starting to get the hang of our waste separation and how we do with waste a little bit better now. Very happy with what we're doing with our money. I could build that thing out right now. And I do kind of wonder if we should do it. Okay, let's plan out what we're going to do with this. So I'm thinking this thing is full. And what we should probably do is build a smaller one, a smaller storage, just to maintain a healthy supply over here somewhere. And of course, that will need, if we were to say do something like that, right? and we then get ourselves a pump, a pipe, actually, I think that would actually draw in from there. That's okay, but what we don't have is we will need a bit of a pump to make this thing work. What is that actually? In the reality, what is this? Let's just say do that with a pipe, okay. And then the next thing I would like to do is if I click on that, what is this cost here? That's about 15,000. That's about 11. This one is underground. I just want to do this, right? So if I were to do that there, let's flip it around. We go underground. Yeah, I think we're probably okay with this. No. I want to do this. Yeah, that's the one. So I'll do a substation or a pumping station over there. Oh, it's not quite what I wanted to do, but I would have built it anyway. I will go underground here. So we'll pump it there, and I'll go underground there. And I think let's build that. We'll get that in place. Okay, don't worry about the rest of it. This should be... okay, hang on. We're out of stuff here, I'm sure. Yeah, that's fine. So let's just switch it off. And now it should be all good again. Oh, there's a new fancy helicopter there. This thing's almost empty, in which case we can then start moving some stuff from over there. This has also got some mixed waste in there, but very little construction stuff. Yeah, actually really good. And this is just ash, so it'll slowly dissipate over time, and no real problem there. Okay, so there we go. That connection should be quite workable, and we can make a start on the construction here, and get these guys to work. So what we will need to do though is probably run ourselves. Wow, that's pretty huge. If we were to run that down. Oh, you can't? Okay, well, let's clear this out. Try the slightly smaller ones. Yeah, that's probably better, to be honest. It looks a little bit more natural. And find your way over there, and then we'll get you to go in over there. So that'll be our power connection on this side, and that will allow power to run down to this area, and we'll be able to go ahead and export it. We'll just have to make a little bit of a maneuver in this location, potentially just rejig this. So I think what I should be doing, because we've got the additional stuff here, I think I should just go ahead and do it. So let's get those power lines in place. I think that's fine. And then the next piece of the puzzle, how many workers are we getting in here? Really, I'm not getting a lot. I'm really not getting a lot of workers in there. It's pretty minor. We can run a few extra buses, I think. What I'll also do is I'll tie this one in. Tie that one in. We'll build that. And then I think I'll go ahead and get this constructed. It should cost us just over 200,000 to get that done. At the same time, I might have a quick look at how we can provide slightly improved access. And that is a bit of a bummer, because that access is not so good. So how can you can get there? You can walk there, so that's okay. So what I might do is I might just go ahead and upgrade these road sections, and at the same time I'll go ahead and pay for that, so at least we've got a a pretty reasonable run for people into this place, even though we're not getting it there. Now, 15 workers can start its work here. Let's just make sure we store that item. And then I believe as soon as this guy gets some workers, let's just go down to about 10. As soon as we get the next bus here with some workers on it, that'll start generating power for us. Which I will then quickly have to sort out. I think we'll sort out the rest of it there. Let's just see what we get from this as soon as another bus arrives. Actually, there's about 100 people here now, or 80 people there now, so that's pretty good. That's good. Our fuel is also holding, which I like. Yeah, that cost us a lot of money, but that's very reasonable. How many on this bus? 26 out of 80, potential 83. So it's almost no workers here. I have like 5 of them coming over here. Okay, there we go. So now it should work. It should be drawing some stuff from here directly. It's not actually filling itself up. Makes me wonder if we should directly fill it also. But I'd rather we not, because then a lot of it remains active there, and this is just a bit of a fallback here. I wouldn't have, but actually that one could just fill that one up too. So we could do something a little bit better here. Maybe we'll drop it down to about 7 workers for now. But anyway, so now we should be quite comfortably generating our own power, which I'm very happy about. And then from there, we will see about how we can sell some of that power and stop importing power. And we can have this thing run all the time without any worries. One more thing just before we end that. I just want to get the related vehicles over here. Waste reclamation. So instead of going to that one, you now need to go to this one, please. So let's just add you there, and we'll clear that one out. And here you'll please load up on that and say, there we go. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing over there. This one's empty now. I would like to just get this deleted. Let's delete that guy. Excellent. Happy with what we're doing here. Good stuff. And this should hopefully dissipate a little bit quicker these days. Almost switch this thing back on again. But what I would like to do in the next episode, I'm going to just sort out what we're going to do with our power. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more money then to make it work. And then from there, we will start generating our own power. That's a very big milestone for us. Over here, we've got lots and lots of staff. Let's just close this out until we've managed to set things up properly. We want those 2 buildings to get sorted. This is still waiting up on prefabs. That's okay. And then as soon as that's done, we'll just close that one out. But just closing it out now at the moment until we get some stuff in place. Ooh, it's missing the pickup points. So let's just get the pickup points in place also. I'll do that, and we'll get that built up. So now that should work. What I'll also want to do here is put some biological waste in place there. Good. And what I could also do, just to make sure we're properly connecting everything up, can we get an access point? Cannot. I did not see this coming. Really? So now we can't... Really, we can... Nowhere here we can find an access point? Okay, well, if that's the case, what we'll have to do then is we'll have to run something straight to the back over there. And do a little something like this, and then hopefully that does the trick, and we can get more of these things to work together here. Excellent. And now we should have reasonable walking distances for all of this stuff. Oh, and that's done as well. So let's just make sure to close that one out until we get our proper tourism pieces set up. So in the next episode, we'll have a look at getting our tourism moving. We'll continue to expand our population, and we'll have a bit of a look at what we're going to do with our power setup now that we can generate our own. I'm still very comfortable with where our finances are at, even though that was a very big expense. But I think for the time being, that's going to be it for our big, expensive pieces until we sort out our loan a little bit more. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.